What's going on? You already know who it is. It's yours truly. Just say it with me. My name is Mr. TALIAFERRO. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? I don't want to waste too much time. Just, the general stuff. Please subscribe to the platform if you have not done so. Hit the notification button if you have not done so. That way you get notified every time I drop a video. So when you see people rush to the comment section and say first, you know what I mean? That's because they got my post notifications on. They get notified when I drop a video immediately. It hits their phone immediately, and I would appreciate if you hit that bell and do the same. So I just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about something that I saw. Hot 97, salute to Ebro in the morning. They put this very interesting video. I'll leave it at interesting, and I'll drop the link to the video in the comment box as soon as I post this. It's a conspiracy theory video about Tekashi 6ix9ine. I don't need to go super in depth about 6ix9ine. Y'all already know what's going on. This dude got caught up with the feds, the whole Nine Trey gang, racketeering charges. Minimum 47 years for 6ix9ine specifically. He agreed to work with the feds. He's ratting on the stand. And it's looking like there's a chance that this rapper, this colorful hair, tattoo on the head rapper, who is facing 47 at a minimum, there's a chance he might get out of prison in the year 2020 because he agreed to work with the feds. All his former homies are doing 10 to 15 years. Yeah. Anyway, Hot 97, Ebro in the morning, they put up this very interesting conspiracy theory video. And in the video, Ebro and Rosenberg are kind of breaking down this theory of what if Tekashi 6ix9ine had been a Fed for a little minute now. And what they mean by that is, there's clips of 6ix9ine as a Crip earlier on, right? He was, I guess, apparently a Crip, and he might have flipped into a Blood. Specifically, he ended up being Nine Trey. But anyway, make a long story short, did Tekashi 6ix9ine agree to work with the feds a long time ago? And I know it kind of sounds crazy unless you watch the video, and I don't want to bite off their video. Please check their video out. I'll give a couple points that I kind of thought were interesting. Anyway, was Tekashi 6ix9ine a Fed the day of the Gummo video, right? Like the day, there's a story out there, and this thing is in court that Tekashi 6ix9ine knew he didn't have any street credibility. He wanted to be respected as a street artist. So he told the video director or someone at the video shoot for Gummo, yo, I would like to have some street dudes in the video to give me some credibility. So they went and found some blood, specifically the Nine Trey gang, paid him to be in the video, and then from there he continued to get extorted, right? And that's the legacy and the legend of Tekashi 6ix9ine. So a couple things that Rosenberg and Ebro said, I really thought about it. I was like, this is pretty interesting. And you rarely see me big up a video. But there were two things that they said in this video that stood out. And I'll give you a little bit more information right on the back end. So one thing that they brought up, and I thought this was super interesting, was the openness of this case, right? Now, I've covered a lot of cases. I'm probably 4 or 5 years into the game of covering hip-hop stories. I done seen a lot of stories because on my platform, I have to cover everything because I am the brand, right? Now, I've never seen anything like this. And by the way, this dude has agreed to work with the feds, right? And the feds are not protecting him in this case. Literally, if you go on Twitter, there's a government news site, meaning they cover mostly like government and politic type stories. Inner City Press. Literally, if you go on Twitter and type in Inner City Press, they were inside of the courtroom. Obviously, I understand the amendment, freedom of press. But when you're dealing with a federal case like this, usually the feds try to protect the person that's agreeing to work with them, at least from the court. Like, why is this thing so open? And that was one thing that I thought Rosenberg and Ebro so eloquently brought up. How in the hell is this case this open? We understand, and I don't want to bite off the video, but one thing that I thought about was, reportedly Tekashi's family and friends, obviously he's got a child, a baby mama, all that stuff. They wanted to stay away from the case. They said they were not going to be in court as 6ix9ine was working with the feds and ratting and testifying in court because they were like, yo, this thing is too wide open for our safety. We gonna back away from that. We don't want to get killed because 6ix9ine is right, and that's his decision. So it's interesting to me how the courts, the feds, have allowed this thing to be this open. I mean, literally inner city press is in there tweeting line for line everything that Tekashi 6ix9ine is saying. Even if you let press in, why are you allowing press to have their phones in this trial? This is supposed to be a guy working with the feds. This thing is supposed to be as secret as possible. Why are you pretty much sending this young man out on the streets with literally every line that he put out on every media outlet you could think of? Everything he said in court is available for anyone to read. That's a little bit beyond freedom of press, allowing people to have their phones. There are images out there in the atmosphere. There's audio out from the court, right? Somebody was recording Tekashi give his testimony. There's audio out. That's more than just freedom of the press. All right, that's more than, trust me, I've studied journalism. That's more than just freedom of the press. You just let people do whatever the hell they want. And this young man's life is dependent on this situation. So that was one thing. The other thing Rosenberg brought up, which I thought was interesting, was the whole, you remember that, what was that, about a year ago when Tekashi 6ix9ine was in Chirac, and I don't like calling it that. Why did I do that? Chicago, Illinois, and he was taunting Chief Keef, and what was he on, O Block? He went on O Block in the middle of the night, recorded it. If you remember correctly, right, one thing that was interesting was the type of cars that Tekashi was riding with. Like, this wasn't no typical security. That dude felt protected on another level. And I think at the time you had guys like me I come from nothing, right? I ain't no street dude. I try to tell that in all my videos. I ain't no street dude, but I understand street politics 100%. I just wasn't built like that, right? And I don't mind saying that in the video. One thing that I know what you don't do, you don't invite certain trouble in your life. Meaning Tekashi was already popping on the internet. Certain risk he didn't have to take. And to see this young man going to Chicago, literally with no business on his mind, no concert. It wasn't like he went there for a show and then decided to stay around and kick it in Chicago. He went just to troll. He said he went looking for Chief Keef when Chief wasn't there. So he went trolled him on his block. He went and got Chief Keef's baby mama, did a little video with her. I just didn't understand the confidence that this man had riding around with Chicago. And if you look at a couple people, if you talk to a couple people who was in Chicago and saw Tekashi riding around, one thing they all said was the plates on the back of the security cars that Tekashi was in, them wasn't no average police cars, bruh. Like them felt like Fed cars. Them joints had them. Let me not say this. Them wasn't no average security cars, right? Those cars felt like he was protected on a bigger level. So that's interesting. I think at the time I just chalked it up to this. Look, this little nigga probably paid a lot of money for security. This little dumb nigga don't know any better. He ain't from the streets. He don't understand how serious what he is and how this could have ramifications for his family and years later, right? But it definitely was a level of confidence. I even want to say arrogance by Tekashi 6ix9ine as he moved around. It's a really good video. You should check it out. I'll drop it in the comment box below. So that brings me around full circle. Let me tell y'all something. One thing I don't do, TALIAFERRO, one thing I don't do, I don't watch other YouTubers' content. Salute the guys like Relatable Eyeball, does a great job. I love him. Famous Animal out the city that I'm from, Memphis. I don't watch anyone else's content. Reason why I don't do that, like, I don't watch other guys' content that deliver news is what I mean. Not because I have anything against Eyeball or Famous Animal. I'm saluting these guys. I'm bigging up these guys. Anybody that does news, right? Academics, any of these guys. I don't want their opinion to become my opinion, right? So I have to get away from that because sometimes people say shit that makes sense. So you have to get away from that. That's why I kind of shy away from podcasts sometimes because I don't want their opinion to become my opinion. So I back away, especially when people say dope stuff and those dudes are dope. But I have to admit, I watched an academics video recently. Reason why I did it because he's a source on Tekashi. This ain't no random dude. Like, I'll watch anything if there's a source element to it. If that guy or female has inside information, if I know they're cool with a person, I'll check them out because they're an insider on this story. I knew academics would be an insider on the Tekashi story because them dudes was in the pool damn near kissing a few months ago. A little over a year ago, right? So I went to one of the academics' video, and I brought up that I don't watch YouTubers' video because I really don't do this, but I listened to something academic said, and it was super interesting to me. He was like, yeah, I haven't talked to Tekashi in 2 weeks. Now, I don't know, I forgot what I watched, but I promise you I'm not making this up. He's like, yeah, I haven't talked to I haven't talked to Tekashi in like 2 weeks. And I was like, wait a minute. But why is he still talking to him at all right now? Like, what is the extent of their relationship right now? Period. 6ix9ine's in prison. 2 weeks ago would have mean he was about to get ready to snitch. Why is 6ix9ine on the phone talking to anyone outside of his immediate family, let alone a guy that he ain't known for that long in academics? That's interesting to me. Another thing that's interesting to me, TMZ just ran a story 2 days ago, and they're claiming that they got inside knowledge from a source close to Tekashi, which is interesting to me. Who is that? Saying that Tekashi doesn't understand why rappers are clowning him for snitching, right? Just weird in itself. Who's talking? Who's talking to Tekashi right now? Hell, everybody that was a part of his team is in prison for being because of your snitching, right? So who the hell is TMZ talking to? Van Lathan and company? Who y'all talking to? Academics. How are you talking to 6ix9ine right now? This dude just worked with the Fed. How are y'all talking right now? Like, what? How is that happening? That's just super weird to me. And like to kind of cap all this off with the weirdness, 6ix9ine was rolling around talking shit until he got locked up, right? I'm talking about the beefs with Casanova. I mentioned the Chief Keef beef, the YG beef, other rappers. I mean, he was calling out everybody. And now as the story developed, we're now learning that 6ix9ine wasn't protected like he thought he was. There was clear as day problems within the Nine Trey set. Meaning some dudes ain't like Shotty. Shotty ain't like some dudes. Shotty and Tekashi wasn't getting along at the last minute. Mel Murder and Tekashi wasn't getting along. The Harv guy, the muscle security dude, him and 6ix9ine went on the same page. Harv and Shotty went on. We're learning that over the months, if not year, Nine Trey had some complacency within their set. And it wasn't just Tekashi. Looking like there might have been another informant involved in this and within the Nine Trey set. The driver was ratting. Look, the Fed said, look, we're going to send your ass back to ICE. All right? The driver started snitching. So you learn all these things, and it makes you even want to know more. Why did 6ix9ine feel so comfortable doing things like going to LA, talking on camera to TMZ, on camera putting a hit on somebody's head? Literally, I'm not making this up. I'm not breaking no news. He's on camera with TMZ putting a hit on somebody. And you listen to Shotty and some of his phone calls that have been leaked now. You hear Shotty talking about, yeah, we're going to do the interview with TMZ on Monday. They were supposed to do an interview with TMZ that following Monday. Why the hell were y'all? What's going on? So the theory that there were known informants within the Nine Trey set, including Tekashi 6ix9ine, to me has some validity to it. It's interesting, and I think it's worth asking the question. If you got this far in the video, I thank you first and foremost. I just leave it up to you guys. Do you believe there is a chance that Tekashi 6ix9ine could have been working with the feds the minute he decided to join those Nine Trey members to be a part of that Gummo music video, which kind of set all this off in the hip-hop space? Y'all let me know y'all answers in the comment box below. I'm in the comment section because I really want to know what people saying. And also, y'all just talk to me. We'll just kind of leave it open. I'm going to comment the video, though, from Hot 97, Ebro in the Morning. I kind of broke it down a little bit as well. Let me know what y'all think about that video. I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they tuned in.
We locked in right now,
Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You're watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.